Thanks everyone for joining us this morning. My name's Adam Stoffel. I'm a program manager on the customer experience team within the Microsoft Identity Product Group. That means I work mostly with customers and partners, understanding them what their needs are with the Azure AD B2C product, helping them deploy solutions on top of Azure AD B2C, and then also collecting feedback that we can use to improve the product.
Hi, and my name is Jose Rojas, and I'm a program manager as well. I work inside the engineering team itself, developing the features that we hope you enjoy, and we're the ones you get to yell at when they don't do what they should be. My team is super excited that I'm here to show you a couple things that we've been working really hard on, and just to really get you familiarized with our service. So look forward to it. Thank you, Adam.
So at Microsoft, we work really closely and we work really hard to help our customers protect all the assets that are most important to them. And today we help about 100,000 enterprise customers secure their enterprise identity and access to their corporate resources. But we recognize that there's many other things that are valuable to our customers, including one of their most valuable assets, which is their customers. And we want to help them protect and secure access for their customers and access to customer-facing applications. So for that, we have a product that we call Azure Active Directory B2C, which is our business-to-consumer white label identity solution. And we recognize that in an identity solution that is customer-focused, there's a few core qualities there that may differ a little bit, but also overlap with some of our enterprise offerings. So for a customer identity and access management solution, we know that you're looking for something that's customer-centric and flexible. It needs to meet the unique needs that you have in your industry, be able to present your brand and your user experience in the way that makes sense for your company. It also needs to be secure and reliable. As I mentioned, companies are trusting us today to secure their enterprise identity, and we want to extend that same type of capability into the consumer marketplace so that they can protect those assets in the same way. And then lastly, it needs to be global and scalable. So if you've been in any of our other identity sessions throughout the week this week, you may have seen that we are now processing 30 billion authentications per day on the Microsoft Identity Platform. That includes consumer identities, both within the Microsoft consumer experience, our enterprise identities, and also within our Azure Active Directory B2C product to protect consumer identities. So I thought, what better way to kind of showcase what we're doing with Azure AD B2C than to kind of jump into a demo and show you some of the capabilities. So let me go ahead and do that for you here. So I want to drag over to the screen that I can find here. We have a website here for an online sort of 21st century online grocery store, Woodgrove Groceries. And Woodgrove has decided to use Azure AD B2C to protect their customers when they log in and they shop on their website. So if I go ahead and I click on sign in here, we come to the Woodgrove Groceries login page. They've got a couple of different login experiences here, some of which are powered by Azure AD B2C, some of which are powered by other parts of the Microsoft Identity Platform. But to showcase Azure AD B2C, I want to jump into individual customers here, which will take us into an Azure Active Directory B2C policy. In this policy, Woodgrove is allowing customers to sign in with a couple of different types of credentials. So they have a few different social identity providers that I could log in with here, or I could get logged in with a local account using a username and password. The great part about this is that all of these components here that you're seeing, although they look and feel and they match the Woodgrove Groceries brand, this is actually being hosted and rendered by Microsoft. So that means that no longer is Woodgrove responsible for figuring out how to handle the user credential. They don't actually have to touch the user's password. They can trust us to handle that type of security and then provide them with an authentication result afterwards. There's a few different ways, as I mentioned, to get signed in here. If I were to click on Sign Up Now, this will allow me to create a local account here within the Woodgrove Groceries Azure AD B2C tenant. I would have a username, or in this case, an email address, and a password that I could use to log in the future. But I'm going to kind of back up and jump in and log in an even easier way. So I'm going to just go ahead and use my Facebook account to log in here. So at this point, Azure Active Directory B2C has redirected me over to Facebook as a part of a standard authentication flow, as part of an OAuth 2 flow, and is allowing me to go ahead and continue as my identity here. So I'll say, great, I'm going to log in with that identity. I'm taken back to B2C. And now B2C, as I mentioned, it's very powerful, very flexible. So in this policy that's been defined by Woodgrove, Getting logged in with Facebook is a great credential, but there's some additional information that they want to collect about the user. So I'm presented with another screen, which is rendered by B2C here, where I can provide a little bit more information. So it's already populated my display name in this example, or my full name from my Facebook profile. But there's another piece of information here, a custom field that Woodgrove Groceries would like to collect. In this case, it's an account ID. Maybe this is like my shopper rewards card or something like that. So I'll provide that information here. We have some validation that's happening on this field sort of inline here. So you saw that pop up. It said it's got to be a 6-digit field, so that's been custom configured by Woodgrove. And I need to agree to their terms of service. I'm going to click Create, and it's actually going to come back and say, you know what, that account ID still wasn't valid. In this case, B2C has actually gone out and checked with an external API that Woodgrove Groceries is running to do some additional validation. So we can kind of showcase how B2C can orchestrate integrations across all of these different services, across social identity providers, other custom services that Woodgrove Groceries is running, in order to create the authentication experience that Woodgrove wants to provide for users. I'll click Create here. This will ask me then to enroll in multi-factor authentication. So B2C has multi-factor authentication built in here, and that you can layer on top of all of these other types of factors. So my primary credential there was Facebook, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I do an MFA enrollment here. Grab that code from my phone. And there it is, so 224. All set. And now that I've completed that multi-factor enrollment, that's the entire B2C policy there for registration for users. And I'm taken back to the Woodgrove Groceries website. Again, standard authentication flow here. This is using OpenID Connect. The Woodgrove Groceries website has received an authentication token from B2C, which identifies me as that logged in user. Now, there's a lot of other great things in this demo. If you would like to later on, feel free to go ahead and play around with this demo. We have quite a bit that's built in here. But in the interest of time, I'm going to jump back in and show you some examples of what other customers have built on top of Azure AD B2C. So a couple of examples of customers that are up and running live on Azure AD B2C today include Nuffield Health. Nuffield Health is one of the leading healthcare, nonprofit healthcare providers in the UK. They have built their entire customer experience on top of Azure AD B2C, and you can see they've done a really nice job of building this brand to match their look and feel. Subway sandwiches here in the United States, if you go onto subway.com and go to order a sandwich online there, you're actually authenticating using Azure AD B2C today, and they have an authentication experience there. The Real Madrid Sports Club in Europe also uses Azure AD B2C. They have that social account integration just like Woodgrove Groceries did. And how many of you registered for Microsoft Ignite online? Not a trick question, it's probably everybody, right? So that experience as well is also powered by Azure AD B2C. In the case of the Ignite registration form, we're using all federated logins or all social providers to go ahead and get those users created in Azure AD B2C. So there's a huge amount of flexibility here and power that you have at your fingertips with B2C to create the experience that matches your brand. With Azure AD B2C, what we really want to do is make sure that your customers have the opportunity to bring whatever identity you would like them to bring and that they already have to you to authenticate against your applications that are customer-facing. So you saw some examples of how that might be a social ID like Facebook or a Microsoft consumer account, Google, something like that. It could be other types of identity providers that you already work with today to authenticate users. You can bring those to B2C and do that. And then, of course, local accounts. We can sign users up with an email address or a username and a password. And then you can layer on those additional pieces of the authentication journey as per your business process. Azure Active Directory B2C has been in general availability for about 3 years now. We're authenticating, I think, over 10,000 organizations use B2C to authenticate their consumers into their applications, and that's over 200 million users. So this is really a broadly used service. And we've made some recent updates to the way that this service is priced. So we're now actually allowing customers that have less than 50,000 monthly active users will be able to use Azure Active Directory B2C to authenticate users really for free. So please come and try out Azure AD B2C and take advantage of that tier for your service. The other thing is, so there's an incredible amount of value here. Even once you scale beyond that 50,000 number, we work with a number of customers that have millions of users. And if we think about a customer who might have 1 million users in the system, we typically see less than 30% of those active. So even at 300,000 active users, you're looking at less than $1,500 a month for a secure, reliable authentication solution that is scalable and globally available to get those users authenticated into your services.
Well, thank you, Adam. Thanks for that, taking care of that first part. I think for moving on to a little more advanced feature that I've been working on Azure AD and B2C, I imagine you are quite familiar at this point with the identity protection features that we have in Azure Active Directory, the conditional access that we have in Azure Active Directory. And probably we've told you a little bit about how we at Microsoft have the world's largest network, the largest operation of continuous check-in and protection of identities across Microsoft account, across Office 365, and across Azure Active Directory. The number of users is in the billions. And in fact, with the protections we put in the last couple of years, we found that about 27 million users that were compromised. That is a pond, if you will, right? The combination of user IDs and password were somewhere in the dark web. And we protected over 30 billion risky sign-ins, right? So that capability that comes from the connected intelligence across all our services, right? The ability to continuously detect in real time on every single situation and then create something actionable, right? It's something we're really proud of. So now we're making that available to the subways, the Nuffields, the Microsoft Events login website, Real Madrid, and many other customers, and hopefully many of you as well. So for that, I thought the best way to show you was to show you a demo. And I want to transition over to tell you a little bit about that service. Let me swip over the screen. Make sure that shows OK. Yep, that shows OK. So what I'd like to show you is, super quickly, show you how the basic user flow is created, but then more importantly, how a conditional access policy is created. I want to highlight that this feature, conditional access, will be a premium part of our service. It's not yet publicly available. It is privately available. And we'd love you to reach out. Let us know if you'd like to try it out. We expect to have it really in a matter of only a few months. This should really be even less than that at this point. But we're very close, and that's what we thought we were so excited to tell you about it. So as you consider identity protection, on the one end is the detection of risk, and then on the other end is that what to do about it, right? And it is through conditional access that we enable that. Let me take you to the basic functionality, a very basic functionality of B2C, which is how do you create some of those experiences that Adam showed you, and we call those user flows. Very quickly, if you were to create a user flow, at this point, imagine that you already registered your application in the directory, but you want to create something custom to you. And I'm going to very quickly create one, and we're going to run it with a policy. I'm going to create a sign up and sign in policy. This is one policy that will allow you to do both sign up and sign in. I'm just going to call it CA sample, ignite, give it a name. Every policy or user flow has a name. Make it really simply. I'm just going to allow users to sign up with an email. I could have chosen a number of other providers. I'm going to keep MFA disabled. Enabled would be that every time you log in with this policy, you would be MFA'd. We're going to keep it disabled, and instead we're going to make it conditional. Okay? We'll leave everything else as is, and we'll just simply create it. Great. So now I can, now that it's created, I can go into the policy itself, and I want to change one thing, and that is the page layouts. Page layouts is where the magic of the HTML, CSS, JavaScript that you provide comes in and blends with what we provide to create your own experiences. I'm going to do something very simple. I'm just going to turn on templates. I think they're a pretty good place to start, and I'm going to use Ocean Blue. You'll see shortly what it looks like. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for now. If I had my own content, I would have said yes here, and for every page in the experience, I would provide my own HTML. Okay? So now that we've created it, let's just run it and see what it would look like to the end user. This is a simulation of what it will actually look like when your application invokes it. And let's just take a quick look. Okay, very simply, very standard sign-in experience. If I were to click here, I would go into a sign-up experience similar to what Adam showed you earlier. Let me show you something a little more interesting. Conditional access. So in conditional access, how many are familiar with conditional access? Just show of hands. OK, fantastic. So you know this part of our service pretty well. Let me just point out a couple of things that you would be able to do as B2C now is integrated with conditional access. So you have your experiences now dictated or controlled or improved by conditional access. I had a couple examples I wanted to do with my mobile, but that did not work. But I'm just going to show you the configuration. So one configuration that I've heard customers want to do is to say, hey, when a customer looks in for a particular country, particular region, or maybe outside the firewall, I want something to happen. I just defined a location called Mexico and South America. I indicated the country specifically. I think by now you are familiar because you've seen these features before. Once I created that location, then I went and, sorry, let me get back here, into the conditional access and created this policy that basically we create an MFA when a user logs in from those locations. All I did was all users, that includes all B2C users. I excluded the admins. Hopefully you don't forget to do that. I selected one specific app, which is the app that I'm using for B2C in this particular case, on one condition, which is the location that I configured earlier. And I just went here, location, and just my named location, which is the string called Mexico and South America. I said define it, said configure, and I move forward. And then I said, what is required when that happens? And I said, require multi-factor authentication. Okay, very similar, almost exactly similar. And I enabled this policy, as you would in AAD. So with that, I'm not going to save it because I didn't make any changes to it. Let's go back over here. So now let's try it. Now, I'm going to cheat because with my phone, I can create a VPN to look as if I'm coming in from Mexico. I can't do that with my computer. So I created a policy just for this user to MFA this user. Let me just very quickly show you what that is. Right? So I created a single policy for a single user. In your case, you might decide to create a group, and maybe all your VIP customers or your customers who care the most about, your end users customers who care most about security might actually choose or opt in through a screen interface or through calling customer service that they want to have the two-step authentication. You know what I mean. You've all opted into that in some cases. So those users, you could put them in a group and have a policy that for that group and that group only, they would be required to have a second factor. So think of that as that being the example instead of the detection of the country. Very simply, I included one name. I don't think I had to exclude anything. And really, the grant, there are no conditions. This will happen every time, is the MFA. So let's see what that looks like very simply. And it's just, as I log in the user, again, if I had set the policy to be country-related, the IP would be detected, as I think you might be familiar. If I had set it based on risky sign-in, and I'll show you that very quickly, it would trigger based on the risk of the user or based on the real-time risk of the sign-in. Typically, I use a Tor browser to do that, something I enable in a separate device, and I couldn't do that with my computer. So when I attempt to sign in, hopefully with the right password, one more time. OK, so we had a successful signing in this particular case. It did not trigger any particular policy. Let me make sure if it was on. It was off. Now you know that works that way. Now it should trigger. But I want to show you one thing, because we are time limited. So I want to show you one thing, which is that when the policy happens, the application, your application, right here where it says undefined, will be able to see what just happened. Right? In this particular case, there was no condition required. So let's just see if we can do this one more time. And we can, because I still want to show you that. And we'll give that one last try that I enabled and saved the policy. OK. OK, bear with me. OK, great. So this time it did work. It required MFA. Again, the MFA experience is one that you get to customize. We also know of customers who, when an MFA is required, they want to handle that themselves in their application. Right? For them, an MFA trigger requires a call to customer center. For them, an MFA trigger could only mean that the user will continue their journey in your application, but if they attempt to transfer over $1,000, or if they attempt to change their ID information, like their email or their phone number, only then will you step them up to an MFA. Does that make sense? So it's basically the control that you get and the application to then do the MFA as whatever it means to you. Another capability that we're adding in our side is the ability to do this with an email. So 839.425, that should be OK. Great. And again, this time, and lastly, your application gets a token. This is the token your application receives, and it does know that in this particular case, an MFA was required. Right? This is something you can have B2C do for you, or you can have your application consume and do what it wants to do subsequently. Okay? Last thing, and I know we're short on time, but I just want to show you this one last thing, which is that there's really a wealth of reports behind this, right? In this particular instance, what I wanted to show you is this particular user, this is user A, came in using a Tor browser, and it appeared as logging in from Austria. And what I want to show you is when you have conditional access, not only will it tell you what the risk info was, in this case an anonymous IP address, but it will tell you whether the conditional access succeeded or not. Right? So you have the full picture of what happened, when it happened, and you can extract this via APIs and create alerts if that's what you wish to do with them. Okay? So with that, let's go back to the presentation. That's number 6.
There we go. With that, I think that's all we have for the demo for you today. This, the conditional access and identity protection features that Jose just demoed for everyone here is something that we're working on bringing to Azure AD B2C, as he mentioned, in the near future. There's a number of other things that we have announced just this week at Ignite, so, or last week. So as I mentioned, the update in our billing model to monthly active users is brand new. We also have an improved create user experience from within the portal and an improved application registration experience within the Azure AD B2C Blade inside the Azure portal. So I'd encourage you also to go ahead and go try those out and also make use of our new free tier for all of your consumer-facing applications. Thank you, everyone. There's another session this afternoon, which will talk more about customer and partner identity that Jose and Elizabeth from our team will be presenting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.